Teyana Taylor always seemed like she had it all figured out. A powerful woman, talented, beautiful, and unapologetically herself. From the outside, everything looked perfect. Her career was soaring, her image was untouchable, and her relationship with Iman Shumpert looked like something out of a fairy tale. Fans loved them, rooted for them, believed in them. But you know how life is. What shines in public sometimes cracks in private. So when the news broke that Teyana might be pregnant again, the internet went wild. Not just because of the pregnancy itself, but because of everything swirling around it. See, the story wasn't that Teyana was having another baby. It was who the father might be. That's where things got messy. And fast. It started small. A blurry paparazzi photo of Teyana stepping out of a restaurant in LA wearing an oversized hoodie, holding her belly just slightly. At first, people just said she looked comfy. But fans have eagle eyes. Someone zoomed in, slowed down the footage, and caught a glimpse of what looked like a slight baby bump. Within hours, Teyana pregnant again was trending across social media. But the real drama didn't begin until someone dropped the question that flipped the internet upside down. Wait, where's Iman? Because here's the thing. Teyana and Iman hadn't been seen together in months. No recent photos, no sweet posts, no flirty comments. In fact, Iman had quietly unfollowed her a few weeks back. At the time, nobody noticed. But when the pregnancy talk started buzzing, people went back to their profiles, and everything looked different. It wasn't just that he had unfollowed her. It was that she hadn't mentioned him once in over 2 months. And that's when a name started floating around. Aaron. At first, it didn't make sense. Aaron who? But if you'd been watching closely, you'd have caught it. Aaron was someone who'd been in Teyana's circle for a while. Not famous like Iman, but known enough. He'd worked with her behind the scenes. Some said he was a creative director on one of her music videos. Others claimed he was just a friend she'd known from way back. But recently, people noticed how often he was popping up. Quietly, subtly. In her background. At the same parties. Driving the same cars. Sitting a little too close in certain photos. It was subtle, but not that subtle. Then a fan account dropped a thread. They laid out a timeline and it was brutal. Pictures of Teyana with Aaron at a studio in New York in early February. Then in Miami in March. Then that blurry video in April where someone who looked like Aaron was helping her out of a car. None of it confirmed anything, but it didn't have to. The internet started doing what it does best. Assuming. The theory exploded. What if the baby wasn't Iman's at all? What if this was Aaron's baby? And what if that was the reason Iman had distanced himself so suddenly? It felt too wild to be true. But here's the thing, Teyana didn't deny it. She didn't confirm it either. She just stayed silent. And sometimes, silence says more than words ever could. Now, let's rewind for a second, because this wasn't just any couple we were talking about. Teyana and Iman had been together for years. Their love story was public, passionate, messy at times, but real. They got married in secret, had kids together, worked on projects side by side. They laughed, danced, fought, and made up in front of the world. They were the couple people looked at and said, if they can make it, there's hope. But looking back, maybe the cracks had always been there. There were rumors, sure. Whispers about Iman being seen out late without his ring. Stories about Teyana being emotionally checked out. But nothing ever stuck until now. Iman's silence after the pregnancy speculation didn't help either. Normally, he'd be the first to repost her pics, throw some heart emojis in the comments, or clap back at any disrespect. But this time, nothing. Not a word. No post, no story, not even a like. Fans started flooding his comments. Is it yours? Say something. Protect your peace. He didn't respond to any of them. But then, late one night, he posted something that set everyone off. Just one sentence. Loyalty is louder in silence. That was it. No context. No photo. Just black text on a white screen. People lost it. Was that about Teyana? Was he saying she wasn't loyal? Or that he was trying to be? Everyone had a theory. And while the internet spiraled, Teyana kept doing what she always does. Moving like nothing was wrong. She showed up to a fashion show in Paris a week later. Glowing. Confident. Belly just barely visible under a flowy black dress. She didn't speak to the press, but the photos said everything. She looked happy. Calm. Like a woman who'd already made peace with whatever storm was coming. But not everyone was so calm. Behind the scenes, insiders started leaking little bits of info. One said Iman had moved out of their shared house in Atlanta. Another claimed Teyana and Aaron had been closer than friends for over a year. No one had proof, but the whispers were getting louder. Too loud to ignore. Then came the real twist. A close friend of Teyana's, someone who'd been quiet for years, suddenly liked a post that said, "Imagine raising a child with someone just to find out it was never yours." That one action, that single double tap, sent the internet into a frenzy. People started screenshotting, speculating, begging for answers. Was this really happening? Was this baby not Iman's? And what did that mean for everything they had built? It didn't take long before other celebrities started subtly chiming in. A rapper tweeted, "Crazy how fast loyalty turns into loneliness." An actress posted, "Keep your circle tight, your heart tighter." Everyone was vague. No one mentioned names. But it felt like everybody was watching the same drama unfold in real time. Fans were divided. Some stood by Teyana, saying, "Even if it is Aaron's, she has a right to move on." Others were furious, calling her out for what they saw as betrayal. "You don't build a kingdom just to walk out and hand it to someone else," one tweet said. But still, neither Teyana nor Iman gave any clear answers. And Aaron? He vanished. Deleted his Instagram. Went completely silent. For a while it felt like everything had just paused. Then came a moment no one expected. Teyana posted a photo. Just her, barefaced, holding her baby bump in the mirror. No caption. Just the image. And that was all it took. The internet exploded again. Because for the first time it felt real. This wasn't just rumors anymore. This was happening. She was having a baby. But still no mention of Iman. No sign of who the father was. Then, just when it seemed like things couldn't get more confusing, Iman dropped a video. No warning, no promo, just a 3-minute video posted to his YouTube channel titled, "My Truth." He sat in front of the camera, no script, no edits. Just him. And for the first time, we saw the pain in his eyes. "I know y'all been talking," he started. "I've been seeing the posts, the messages, the guesses. And I stayed quiet. Not because I didn't care, but because I didn't want to speak from a place of anger." He paused, breathing heavy, choosing his words. "I love Teyana. That'll never change. We've been through too much together. Built too much. But sometimes, love ain't enough. Sometimes people grow, and sometimes they grow apart." He didn't say the baby wasn't his. He didn't say it was either. He just let the silence say everything. "I wish her the best," he said quietly. "I hope whoever that child is, they're loved, protected, cared for." And that was it. No drama. No explosions. Just heartbreak. The internet didn't know what to do with that. We expected chaos, anger, accusations. But instead, we got something that hurt even more, the quiet ending of a love story everyone believed in. Now, weeks later, the dust is still settling. Teyana's still glowing, still unbothered. No baby name has been announced. No photos of the father. Just silence. But maybe that's the final twist. Maybe we were never supposed to know who the father was. Maybe the story wasn't about betrayal or scandal. Maybe it was about growth. About change. About a woman choosing her peace over a perfect image. Or maybe it really was Aaron's. Either way, one thing is clear. Nothing is ever as simple as it looks on social media. And behind every post, every like, every unfollow, there's a story. And this story, well, it's still being written. But we'll be watching closely.